Hey guys, it's Lanhart here and welcome to episode, I think it's 12 now, of my F1 2016 career mode. We're in Germany today at the Hockenheim circuit and hopefully we'll be looking for a decent Grand Prix. It's a pretty balanced circuit, so hopefully it'll suit our car. And we've been doing really well at the moment, but after a really bad qualifying and a retirement, we haven't done so well. So let's try and get better through this weekend.
Okay, I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
Now, obviously, that's the R&D thing, as we know. The only good part from really last time was that we had enough resource points to get the chassis weight upgraded, and now we've only got a few more left. We've only got one more in each row until we can start working on fuel consumption and drag, and hopefully we can have a good Grand Prix here, and as well as practice, because we really do need those resource points. Hopefully in qualifying pace and everything we can really step it up. So let's actually get into practice one and let's get those resource points.
Guten Tag and welcome to Hockenheim, home of the German Grand Prix, for today's practice session. It's a big weekend for a number of our top drivers as they look for success on home soil. We'll be getting underway shortly to see how they get on. I'm here with Anthony Davidson once again. Nice to see you, Ant, and I wanted to ask you about how you go about improving the car over the course of a practice session. How much would you say is already known from the pre-race simulations, and how much do you have to do, how much do you have to work on with a real car on a real circuit?
Well, that's a good question, Crofty, and I suppose the simple answer is that there's no such thing as too much information. As you say, the bigger teams have very complex simulations, vast numbers of clever people crunching the numbers back at base, but what they can't tell you is stuff like how the track condition's going to be, or what the temperature's going to be doing over the course of the day, and how all of that's going to be interacting with the tyre. There are so many millions of tiny variables involved in getting these cars around a racetrack quickly, but the computer can't tailor the car to a driver's specific balance requirements. At some point, you still need to put a human being in there and have them feel it through the seat of their pants. And that's why we end up with different drivers having different setups. So what I'm trying to say is, Crofty, nothing beats on-track testing.
So here we are in practice one, and obviously we've got super soft and medium tyres for this weekend. And just going through the setup there, just making sure everything's okay. And looking at the weather report, it seems we're having, so far, a dry weekend. Yeah, a fully dry weekend, which is really good. And, I mean, apart from the first race in Australia, I think that was the only wet Grand Prix this season. I think that is. But anyway, we're going into acclimatization first, as we've had a pretty scrappy first lap, as we get a lot of purple gates, but a few greens and reds show our inconsistency around the circuit, as this isn't one of my best circuits. But obviously we're going to continue for another lap to see if we can get it. This one has been a bit better at the start, but a bit worse as we kind of fail there, as we keep going wide and everything. But we're going to come across the line anyway. I doubt we would have got full points anyway, as we get going again onto our next lap, and we just missed the gate there just slightly because we were too far left from the circuit. Hopefully that won't impede us as we're coming through our final lap, and I think we're just gonna get 5 points less than what we got, and that was really disappointing. But now in practice 2 we're going on to qualifying pace here, as I was really good. I was agreeing for most of the way through the lap. There's just that technical last section which I can't really do on my pad, because it's quite hard to do technical sections on pads because you don't have as much control over the car. Now coming on to our second lap here, again we're down on time, so we're going to keep going on to a third lap and hopefully we'll be able to get it. But this time again though, we're over a second down after just getting on the grass a bit, so disappointing there, but let's get into qualifying.
Welcome back to qualifying, where we're waiting for the lights to turn green in the pit lane to signify the start of the session here at the Hockenheim Ring for this weekend's German Grand Prix. Drivers tend to complain about tyre wear around this track, and the compounds on offer this weekend aren't likely to put that issue to bed. Is this going to be about who can make the tyres last?
Tyre wear will probably be the dominating factor around this track. It's so easy to use up the life in your tyres as you seek to find the lap time. If you have a good balance to begin with, like the Mercedes and Red Bull, you'll always stand a better chance.
So here we are in qualifying, and then obviously we're just going to lower the fuel levels to the minimum so we can try to get as many laps in as possible on the fastest way. And we're going on to our first few laps now, and immediately I found a lot more grip and stability with the car on lower fuel and on the grippiest tyres, and that might have just been the track conditions. But we set a bank lap of a 117.6, which isn't absolutely amazing, but I think we tried to improve because our first sector wasn't very good on the first lap, but obviously this technical section bogged us down again as we just go slower by about 8 hundredths of the second. We're just going to put the next set of tyres on, obviously, and hopefully we can go out and we're just going to advance the time and see where we end up. And the lowest where I really want to go is about 15th, so there we go. Yeah, now we're in 17th place. So we're going to go out for another lap to try and improve on our time to see what improvements we can make. And immediately I had a better lap, like I strung together a few decent corners as I improved by about 5/10 as we do a 117.6. And now on my last lap, it was really good. I was up in both sectors, but I just ran out of fuel as we got to the line, and that was it. That was it for qualifying. I wasn't going out and do any more laps because I knew that I couldn't be able to improve on my time. Sorry, that was my phone. But yeah, hopefully we'll be good for the race. And yeah, I think we end up in 13th. Yeah, it was a bit disappointing after my last lap, but we can still do some work from there. So let's get into the German Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome to a place that is very special to us all in the Formula One community. It's the Hockenheim Ring, home of the German Grand Prix. Always good for a close scrap is Hockenheim. Think back to Alonso, Ricciardo, Vettel as recently as 2014, and I'm expecting some more strong racing today. We're racing in the Rhine Valley this weekend at the home of many of the sport's finest competitors. The 2.8-mile Hockenheim Ring requires precision through the technical stadium section and great raw speed down the long, flat-out curve towards the popular overtaking zone of the Turn 6 hairpin. Watch out for a lot of wheel-to-wheel action there today. And joining me on this journey today is Anthony Davidson. Now, Ant, it's the home race for Mercedes, so tell me from your perspective as a driver, does a team's attitude change for their home race? Obviously a home victory, particularly good marketing, you'd think, play on the national pride side of things a bit, but do you see that all come through at all?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, you do get a bit of a pep talk, I suppose. There's certainly somewhat of a raised sense of importance when it's the team's home race, but at the end of the day, we're all professionals. I mean, I want to win every race I compete in, and the teams want to win every race they compete in too. So the stakes are unbelievably high at this level. I mean, the effort is 100%, 24/7 all year round, whether it's your home Grand Prix or not.
Okay, you're doing well so far. Let's keep performing like this for the rest of the season.
On the grid here for German Grand Prix, we're obviously doing a super soft to soft, not too much of a difficult strategy or complicated. As we're going to start the sequence now, put it up in the rich mix as we always do. We put less fuel in this time as we go to 5 red lights, and it's a long time. It's away we go for German Grand Prix, round 12 of this F1 2016 World Championship, as Carlos gets a terrible start again, as we get a really good start with good traction as we're already up into the points. I'm just going to try to follow Felipe Massa here, get in the slipstream. As we can see, we're good on the brakes here. As we dive down the inside of both of there, we might try to go down button, but we just try to get out of the way because we know we're not going to make it and we don't really want to cause an accident. But coming down the back curve here, I would say, we're going to get in button slipstream. as we're going to go around the outside of him. It's inside of the curve, but outside, as Ricardo just swerves there, as we have to suddenly brake on the straight, which isn't very helpful, as we go down the inside of him. And I think Bottas, no, we just don't get the place there, but we're going to keep following behind him going into turn 7 as we look for a move down the inside, and we go down the gears and we leave him enough space. And I don't think we're going to be good on traction as we try to make it around the outside, but we're going to go wide and we're just going to slot in behind Bottas. Now coming on to lap 2 down the back curve down to the hairpin of turn 6, we're going to go in the slipstream of Bottas. We're obviously faster, rev the engine out a lot more as we're going to go around the outside of the curve, but obviously down the inside to turn 6 as we just try to brake as late as possible, or at our braking point actually, as we try to force them out wide. So now we're up into 5th place, but we get on the grass a bit here as we lose the back end, and Bottas comes through to take back 5th place on the end of that lap. So that's all our good work undone. But now on lap 3, obviously DRS is enabled, so now everybody's going to start flying down the inside as we just get a bit of a tap there, but we are going to outbrake Marcel's. We're going to go try to hang it around the outside, and he sticks his nose in there as I feel a bit of a nudge as he swerves across the track there as he tries to get the move done. But obviously on the next lap, or on lap 6 actually, as we got away, as we had some bit, as we brake as late as possible, and we're going to just force him out wide there as we go around the outside, as we're going to accelerate as we get back up into 6th place. But I lost the footage from the pit stops, but we're going to go down the inside of Valtteri Bottas there on lap 9, as we're just going to try to really just extend out and trying to get as far as possible, because I think our tyres can make it last. But now on to lap 11, we're stuck behind Rio Haryanto, so we're going to use DRS to pass him, obviously get in the slipstream of him. We're going to go down the inside of him, going down into the hairpin of turn 6, a very popular overtaking spot, as the commentators said just before the race, as we hit the curb and get the apex properly. And now Ricciardo is going to try to come around our outside, as well as Massa on lap 15 with very, very worn tyres, as we're going to try to go around the outside of them as we slot in behind Ricciardo. But there's yellow flag as Massa spins off our probably our rear wheel. But now on the final lap, when Fernando Alonso comes round our outside and obviously our inside, as we see we've got 82% tyre wear on our left front tyre, but we're just going to stick it down the inside of our teammate Carlos, who we might be leaving soon, obviously, when teams actually take notice of how I'm outperforming our car. And obviously at the final lap, as we're not going to let Carlos through, as with, I think it's going to be close to 90% tyre wear, we're just going to come home in 7th place. 88% tyre wear. It's not a bad race, good result, another points finishing position, so hopefully that will help us for the rest of the season. Finishing 7th from 13th is pretty good, but as we see, we definitely got a really good start, and that start really propelled us up. But the tyre wear just went down so quickly, which I'm really surprised about. I mean, finishing with 88% tyre wear is so close to a puncture. I was just fearing it so much, because I got punctures on something like 75% on other test career modes, and obviously in normal races. But it's not really that bad, as we have 930 resource points, and I don't know if that will be enough to really get the engine upgrade that we want. But I think it'll be fine, because we're losing a lot to Sebastian Vettel in our driver rivalry, as we're going to go back up to the top of first driver, which is absolutely amazing. And honestly, I think that from what we did today, I think that it's definitely somewhat of a result, because I think we have a team update now.
Hey, it's me. I just came from a meeting with the department heads. Your performance came up and they're very pleased so far. Well done. Don't let that level drop, okay?
Obviously, the team are happy with my performance at the moment, so we can keep that up, and maybe we can go to maybe one of the top teams, and it kind of depends on the timing of when I'm going to really choose a team, if they come for me, of one of the top teams. And obviously with Red Bull we have their loyalty bonus, but they're becoming one of the top teams, as we can see there. So I don't really know, but we're going to purchase a chassis weight upgrade, as we just didn't have enough for the engine power, but that'll definitely help us in the next race, as we're going to get closer and closer to Williams, and maybe even overtake them for the next race, as we should really do that as we go to Spa-Francorchamps for the next race, which is a track that I really do enjoy. And so it's been a pretty good weekend. I wouldn't say it's out of the ordinary, apart from the tile wear thing. It's been pretty good. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.